figure out how to get it.
Welcome everybody to our BOE meeting today. I'm going to call the meeting to order. The meeting is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act and is open to the media and public. Notices were duly posted, and the meeting was advertised in the Hunterdon County Democrat and Courier News. Formal action may be taken. Can we get a roll call?
Mrs. Cassidy.
Here.
Mrs. Fiore.
Here.
Mr. Lopes. Here. Mrs. Menser. Mr. Pieros. Here. Mrs. Rad.
Here.
Mrs. Ryan.
Here.
Mrs. Pinto.
Here.
Mr. Rizzo.
Thank you. Time for a flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We're going to now have the student representative board. That's part of the next, not first superintendent report. We'll just do that separately.
Yeah, we can do superintendent.
Okay. So, very exciting agenda item for the first time. We're going to have student representative to the board. We have Mr. Daly here with 3 students from his class. So I would like to thank Ishan, Ari, and Jimmy, who will be presenting for us this evening. So, Mr. Daly, if you could come up with the 3 students.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'll make a couple quick comments before I let my reps take over, but I just wanted to talk to the board, to the public, to Dr. Hart, to Mr. Bohm. You guys have been incredibly supportive of every aspect of the civics initiatives that I've tried to do in our school, and in an era where a lot of hyper-partisan politics have taken over. It's been really awesome to see the support that many of you have given to our class. You've been in for countless interviews, forums that we've had, presentations. It's been amazing to be embraced and have so much support from all of you throughout this process. And I think we've been able to take a lot of really cool risks and give the students a great experience as a result of your support. So I really appreciate that from everybody. I talked to Dr. Hart and Mr. Charleston over the summer briefly about some visions for what the civics program could potentially expand into. And one of the things that we were thinking of doing is mirroring what we're seeing at JP Case at Hunterdon Central, where students are taking an active role in aspects of the Board of Education and trying to turnkey some of the information that they're learning back to the classes. And I thought that would be the next logical step in our civics class to give the kids a really authentic learning experience. So what we were thinking was if we could briefly share our proposed agenda for what this could look like if the board is receptive to it. We also got some feedback that members of the board were looking for like an RMS fall sports update on what the athletics programs were looking like. So we did some interviews with coaches and were able to get some information that we want to present to you. We want to share some updates on what the civics election unit looked like across RMS and also into Hollenbrook when we were working with the kids there, and then maybe open it up if possible, or just have us take notes with Dr. Hart's superintendent report. And if any members of the board had feedback, that would be awesome as well. So I'll turn it over to our three reps. Just to give all of you some background, we opened this up to a student application process in like mid to late September. We got a bunch of applications, and Ishan, Ira, and Jimmy were by far the strongest candidates. We were really impressed with them, so Dr. Hart, Mr. Charleston, and I decided to move forward with the three of them. So I'll have them introduce themselves, and we'll go over aspects of that agenda. So take it away, Drew. Go ahead.
Hello all, I'm Ishan and I'm in 8th grade. I wanted to be part of the BOE because I wanted to improve my leadership qualities.
Hi, I'm Ira. I'm in 8th grade and I want to join the BOE to add a student voice.
Hi, I'm Jimmy, and I wanted to join so that way I can help promote a better bridge between the students and the Board of Ed.
So the girls soccer team, after being winless last year, they finished the season with a 2-7 record. The boys cross country team finished undefeated in the conference play and won the future Red Devils Invitational. And 8th grader Lucas Sands finished first at the Meet of Champions. The girls cross country team railed their second half of this season with a 5-conference win. 6th grader Mevina Morgan Allen medaled at the Meet of Champions, and 6th and 7th grade girls showed big improvement throughout the season.
For girls field hockey, 6 new players in the program that had never played, they were added. The team partnered together with Hunterdon Central, so our girls were able to attend a practice with the high school team. And for the girls volleyball, the A team finished 7-5 on the season with a loss in the league final, unfortunately, but the B team finished 6-2 on the season.
And with the boys soccer, they had the best season ever in the program, and they finished 8-3, but unfortunately they lost in the league finals.
Okay. We wanted to also give an update on what election season looked like in the civics program at RMS. I worked with a lot of the partnerships that I've been able to amass over the 4 years of teaching civics to try to get as many people in as guest speakers as possible. 2 of them are in this room right now. Mr. Pieros and Mrs. Ryan were nice enough to attend town hall meetings with my students during a Civics Week initiative. We had 17 total guest speakers who rotated through 1 week of presentations across all 6 of my classes. Dr. Hart being a part of them as well, talking about the initiatives and some of the voting referendum information. We also culminated this entire experience at Hollenbrook, where I brought all 123 of my civic students into Hollenbrook to deliver lessons to the 4th and 5th graders. And our students, the representatives, will share a little bit about their experiences there. But I think the big thing that I've been able to get through this process, and it started way back with the district strategic plan. I was lucky enough to be asked to be part of the partnerships piece, and that really kind of inspired me to push that in the civics curriculum as much as possible, because it's been awesome to get my kids as much experience as possible from people who are more qualified in the field, who are actually running for office, and they can hear what that not only looks like and what the process looks like as well. We also want to share a little bit about who we met over the course of the week, so take it away, guys.
We met over a lot of candidates, including Readington, BOE, Democrats, Libertarians, and I personally believe that it was a good time to speak about their opinions and what they have to do.
Okay. So, Assembly candidates Michelle Scott Cyphus and Catherine Payne came in, as well as the Hunterdon County Sheriff Frederick Brown. Assembly members Michelle Drulis and Catherine Payne came into class, and the State Senator Andrew Zirk and his Chief of Staff. Dale Huang and John Dale also came in, running for local roles, and Michael Roth is running for the 2026 Congress.
Also, Green Party candidate Lily Benavides and Libertarian candidate Vic Kaplan also came into our classes.
So when we went to Hollenbrook, many of the students worked in groups to present. So for example, my group and I, we were 4 we worked on political parties, and we shared to an entire class of students.
My group, we presented all of the branches of governments and had them do an activity to see how well they understood our presentation.
And in my group, we showed them how the election works, and so they could actually do a mock election with their class.
So throughout this entire process, we were able to get information, obviously, from multiple different political parties. I'm really proud of our kids for stepping up, the three of them in particular, to be able to present this to all of you, to the community. Our proposed vision moving forward, if the board is open to it, and if Dr. Hart is open to it, we would like to try to continue giving you guys additional updates across multiple content areas in the 8th grade, as well as the 7th and 6th grade as well. We would do that through a series of interviews with students and with staff members. I would love to be able to integrate the other schools as well, where each of the 3 reps behind me would be kind of specialists in the schools, and they could be conducting the interviews with either principals, with staff members, and be able to report back on Hollenbrook, Three Bridges, and White House. And then ultimately, I think one of our biggest jobs, if we're asked to take this on, would be to highlight the achievements of all the kids in the district. And I want our kids to be able to go out and kind of hunt for those and be able to present them back to you. So we appreciate your time. Thank you for being receptive to it. And thanks for letting us attend the meeting today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for coming. Open it up to the board. Any questions for our reps?
I don't have a question, but I did want to mention that the middle school soccer boys beat JPK's twice.
Any other comments?
I have a question. A question and a statement. Question is, would this be like a monthly update that they would come to the meeting?
So we're open to it. We were thinking either do we do this quarterly, where it's, we're going to meet an additional 3 more times throughout the year. Are you guys open to having a season? Like, we're kind of open to what you would like this to look like. But I think in our discussions, Dr. Hart and I kind of talked about, are we potentially going to do this maybe 4 times a year if you guys are open to it, with this being the inaugural meeting, and then we try some additional ones throughout the year. So.
Okay, thank you. It's a great idea. I also wanted to thank you, Mr. Daly, for inviting all the candidates to come in and speak to the students. They had such wonderful, engaging questions. Kept us on our toes a little bit, but it was great. So thank you so much, and thank you for all you're doing with the class.
I really appreciate you saying that, and regardless of the positions that people are running for, whether it's board, state assembly, we even had Jimmy presented on 2 of the gubernatorial candidates from third party. People have been shockingly generous with their time, which is really awesome, and it also helps to have an army of kids behind you, emailing as well and trying to make sure get these people in so we can hear from different perspectives. And we've been pretty consistent with it's never dominated by Democrat, Republican. We got all across the board where the kids can get different perspectives, which has been awesome. So yeah, thank you for saying that.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I just like to make a comment. I think congratulate the 3 of you, because public speaking is, in some cases, people, it goes above the fear of death. So I congratulate you, and I would say to continue that, because it'll lead to great successes for you to get up in front of an audience and do what you just did. And at your young age, you're off to a good start. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to thank Mr. Daly for putting together this program, and just seeing the civics program grow over the years has been really exciting. And I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the students, and congratulations to the 3 of you also. It really is enormous. It's a great opportunity, and I'm so glad that you want to attend our board meetings. It's so much fun. So yes, thank you. Thanks, Mr. Daly.
Thank you.
I just wanted to mention briefly, I really appreciated this slide deck. I think you did a great job putting it together. It was very visual. And another impressive feat is not having bullets that you're reading off of, that you're really speaking to the content. So I'm really impressed with your level of understanding of what you were bringing forward today. And I particularly wanted to thank you for the update on the sports teams. I know that that's a huge time commitment for our athletes, and quite a bit of effort. Super impressed to hear stats like we had 6 new field hockey players this year. That is so bold for kids to go out and try a new sport. So I appreciate you even finding interesting ways to highlight the achievements that may go a little bit under the radar. So, and thank you so much for dedicating your extra time and your evenings to join us today.
Okay. Well, Ishan, Ara, and Jimmy, thank you again for coming here and presenting to us. You did an excellent job. As everyone said, a tough audience, and they were all very impressed. So that's a great thing. So next thing's going to be the superintendent's report, but I'm just going to piggyback a little bit off of the election, just to talk about the election results that happened last week before we head into the superintendent's report. The first thing I want to do is I want to recognize Veterans Day. I want to offer my thanks to all veterans for their service. Also to mention that one of our BOE members, Paolo Lopes, is a veteran of the U.S. Army. The next thing I want to mention is last Tuesday, the town of Reddington showed their support of the district by participating in 2 key votes. First, we had 6 candidates run for 3 open BOE positions. Nicole, Aaron, Kathleen, Michelle, Justina, and Rich all took the time and effort to run for election to support the children of the district. All 6 deserve recognition for the commitment to the district, community, and students. I offer my congratulations to Michelle, Justina, and Rich on winning re-election for another 3-year term. The other key vote was on the bond referendum, which was approved. I would like to thank all voters for taking the time to learn about the referendum and vote. We had over 8,000 votes on this key initiative. Over the past year, the district and the board has been transparent about the referendum to ensure the community can make an informed decision. Now that the vote has completed and the referendum has passed, the BOE will continue to be transparent as we move forward next steps. Thank you for your trust in the BOE and the district. We take this responsibility seriously and will continue to communicate you clearly and often. In our 25-26 board goals, we've stated for the referendum and strategic plan, the board will collaborate with the administration to launch enhanced communications to inform community members of the referendum. The board will empower the finance committee with the administration to create a capital project plan regardless of the referendum outcome. The board will facilitate the implementation of strategic planning process in coordination with the administration. More to come on the referendum, and Dr. Art will also discuss in the superintendent's report. Thank you. Superintendent's report?
Yeah, sounds great. First, Mr. Daly, Ishan, Ira, and Jimmy, thank you very much for coming tonight. Really appreciate you being here. They're taking notes and listening to everything we say, just so you know. They're going to report back to RMS sometime later this week. But it's great to see you here. I hope the board got a little flavor of what we see as a potential student role on the Board of Ed. And then if anybody has any feedback or suggestions, certainly let me know. I can talk with Mr. Daly, or we can talk even after the board meeting if we want to talk about timeline, timeframes, and certainly how many board meetings a year we want to have our students attend and participate. So thank you for being here again. I want to highlight the recognition of a special student who's here tonight. Late in the summer, I received an email from a very proud dad. He wrote to both Dr. Moss and myself, beaming with excitement with regard to all that his daughter Sadie had accomplished on the athletic field. Sadie was featured on the MLB network as being selected as the MLB Play Ball July 2025 Player of the Month. This is a rare award, so rare that only 6 youth softball players are selected each year. On the field, Sadie is a leader with a .521 batting average, a .662 on-base percentage, 2 inside the park home runs, and a team leader in RBIs. While her athletic gifts were certainly noteworthy, she's also recognized for the dedication and strong character she exhibits both on and off the field. Her natural ability and competitive prowess combined with enduring character traits position her for success in all of her future academic and athletic endeavors. Sadie's father felt that it was so important to share this special recognition with the school district because our schools
have played such an important role in her growth and development. Coincidentally, part of my charge to students and staff this year was to adhere to Babe Ruth's adage to, quote, never let the fear of striking out get in your way. So Sadie, I want to thank you for living this motto and swinging for the fences, literally and figuratively. We at Hollenbrook School and here in the district are so proud of everything that you've accomplished. Please come on. Like you don't have to. It's up to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for writing to me as well. I know Dr. Moss also did something special back in September for Sadie as well, going on with the school. So thank you for being here tonight. Please keep in touch and let us know how things go in the future. Absolutely. Thank you. As Mr. Rizza said, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the referendum, because this really is a time of celebration for the district. And I'm absolutely thrilled and deeply honored to announce that the bond referendum question passed with a resounding yes from our community. And it's an incredible victory, and I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our amazing Board of Education, our dedicated staff, the countless parents and community members who made this moment possible. It wasn't just a campaign, it was a powerful moment driven by our entire community coming together as one. When I think about this time last year, we were just beginning to plan and engage with stakeholders. And I'm overwhelmed really to think about what we've accomplished together in really just a short year. It's the careful planning, every conversation we had, every connection we made that really has led us to this moment. The thoughtful community engagement we invested in wasn't just about spreading the word, it was about really igniting a vision, and a vision for the future of Reddington. I'm very grateful to the individuals who stepped up, who took leadership roles, who passionately shared information and marketing materials about the referendum. These folks include the HSA, the Key Communicators Group, members of the Township Committee, the parent volunteers who helped make signs, local businesses like Sorella's, the Good Days Cafe, and others, the Green Committee members, the staff and the RTEA, preschool providers, and so many others. I checked just today, the most recent election results summary showed truly impressive numbers, with 5,270 yes votes and 2,787 no votes. A 2-to-1 ratio is something we should really be proud of when it comes to a referendum vote. The grand total is most surprising to me, 8,057 votes. That says to me that we really engaged our community in this endeavor. They showed up and they voted, regardless of how their vote was. I feel like our community really had information about the referendum, and we really did accomplish this yes together. And now the real fun begins, as Mr. Reza said. Our next steps include meetings with our bond council to issue the bonds, planning sessions with the architect, finance committee meetings to select projects for this summer and beyond. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but it's the kind of work that will truly transform our schools for our community, and I couldn't be more excited about it. And lastly, I wanted to mention that I think, I want to mention to the board tonight, and maybe we can talk about this. I'd like to invite some of these members from the community for a thank you event. Maybe at the next board meeting, something where members of our community, the HSA, Green Committee members can come and we can share the pride together to truly celebrate what we've all accomplished. Some kind of like refreshments, a little reception, something along those lines, and an invitation I can send out to folks to say, thank you. And it doesn't have to be that, it doesn't have to be the December board meeting, it could be something else, but I think that we really should, beyond a letter to the community, maybe do some invitations and talk with key communicators groups about where we want to go from this point forward. Maybe get balloons, something fun, something to celebrate. So let's think about that. No decisions have to be made tonight, but let's think about how we want to celebrate this before we have to put pen to paper and get to doing some real work that's coming. So thank you all. Thank you everybody for your engagement with the community. This has been really great. And that concludes my superintendent's report, but I'll certainly take questions from the board.
Okay. I'll go first. So thank you for your report, Dr. Hart. As I kind of mentioned, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to make sure we inform the community. That could be, right now, if you guys went on our website, we have a referendum website. So we're going to probably most likely transition that from this is about the referendum to be a status as we go along. So we stay completely transparent with everyone in the community of what's going on, what's going on, projects are prioritized, where we're at, as transparent as possible. The other thing is we have two key committees. One is the communication committee, which helps generate our communication. The other one is the finance. So they'll be discussing our referendum, most likely, at least definitely the finance in almost every meeting that they have going forward. So we'll make sure that when we do our committee reports, that we get enough details to know what's going on in the referendum. We're not going to try and hide anything. We're going to try and be as transparent as possible when things occur and so on. And also, from the board, I know we did a lot of work supporting it. Everyone on the board did an excellent job in supporting the administration and community outreach and so on. A lot of great ideas came up. I know Christina came up with the idea of using a letter as opposed to a mailer, which helped get communication out. We did FAQs, which everyone was involved on, different questions. I know, Ellen, I think the FAQ was your idea to add that to the back of the letter. So, and everyone contributed what the FAQ should be. So from a board perspective, everyone was very vested over the last year, and we're going to continue to be vested to make sure the referendum over the next 2-3 years is successfully implemented. So that's my little statement. I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to add.
I just want to mention briefly, I don't know if you know, but my father sat on the school board at Bridgewater Raritan when I was in high school and was part of the initiative to split the high schools up and then merge them together and build a new high school, and that high school is still thriving. And I'm having a moment right now where I'm feeling like we played a significant part in funding this district for the next 20 years. And I'm really excited to be a part of that and like take this moment to really appreciate what this district has done and what, Dr. Hart and your administration has been able to spearhead. I appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, anything else on superintendent's report?
That's everything.
Excellent. All right. The next item on the agenda is open comments from the public. It is limited to items that are on the agenda. So if anyone has any comments they would like related to items on the agenda, please step forward, write your name and town you're from on a piece of paper and announce it, and let us know your comments.
I'm Melissa Viola, a resident and a teacher. So proud of Ms. Katie. The RTA just wanted to congratulate Dr. Hart and the board for all of their hard work in successfully securing the referendum. The benefit to students, teachers, and staff will be tremendous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Jessica Gallico, Reddington, New Jersey. I don't have an agenda and my phone is not connecting, so I'm going to try and go off the cuff. But for the referendum, congratulations to you guys. It's a very big feat and organization and everything. I actually voted against, but I'll let you know why. I'm a school teacher as well. I just moved into the neighborhood a year ago on Pulaski. I just bought my first house in Pulaski. And I think that investment in our kids and education is the utmost number one investment that can be possible in life for anything. to build our future. Well, it's where we invest and how money's spent. So although I appreciate, and I voted against, I just maybe didn't hear enough. And working in a district in Elizabeth, I see where money and malfeasance continues to have its disadvantages as well. So I'm hoping that you guys are transparent in the entire process. I did get a letter home to come out to the last meeting, and the letter that got sent home was for 6 o'clock, and then on the board website it said 7 o'clock. So when I got here, you guys, I guess, had already left. And then I tried to log in online and chat through there, but either here nor there, we don't have to, it's over with. I do watch the meetings online. I also attend the regular meetings in Reddington, the planning board meeting. I just had some questions about the presentation that was given to them with aspects of where the HVAC systems are gonna go and how everything is gonna be actually moving forward and logistics of everything. So I'm a little bit concerned there, but again, it's in your guys' hands and people will hold you accountable. And I just wanted to commend the students again. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow and let my kids know how amazing you guys did. As far as the teacher as well, I think you're the teacher. Okay, yeah, great job. Next principal maybe. But as far as getting partnerships involved, I am a little weary about that. Sometimes adults can't even act with civility during hard controversial topics, which I saw was on the agenda as well. As long as we stay, I think, like something that's within the bounds of what can they do, or building a community of like voting and candidates themselves instead of bringing in actual political candidates, where things can be biased, or kids can come home and take something the wrong way, and then the next thing you know, we have issues going on. And some of the websites and partnerships that the program through the Department of Ed does push out, I would beg to differ, are a little political. So if I can remember what else my last thing on the agenda, I apologize, was the Branchburg, because that's where I moved from, the Branchburg $10,000 stipend for, I don't know if this is a back and forth, but somebody, just what's the $10,000 stipend? If you guys can answer it now, I guess that comes about. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Nothing controversial here in terms of, I want to say in terms of what is on the agenda, but just wanted to say thank you to the entire board, especially you, Dr. Hart. We've chatted here and there, throughout the years. I think I first reached out to you with some questions I had during COVID, and you've always been very responsive. You've always been supportive. My daughters both have been through our three schools here in the district. We have 1 or 2 schools, but White House School, Hollandbrook, and now Reddington Middle School. We've been very happy with all the teachers. And again, I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to do this for Sadie. It's very special to her, and for all of us. So we're gonna get the little guy home, but yeah, thank you very, very much.
Of course, yes. Yeah. Do you need his name?
Mr. Perez, we just need your name for the record, that's all.
Sorry.
Just come up and say it, and we're good.
Most important part. Marcelo Perez, White House Station, Reddington, New Jersey.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, that closes out public session. Per our policy, we either can address some comments at the meeting, or we can always get back to you. I think there's one comment, really one question that we may want to address now. It's going to come up on the agenda. Marcy's, I don't know if you want to address that now, or.
Do you want me to do it, Jason?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just can't hear, sorry.
No, I just turned my mic on.
Okay.
The $10,000 stipend is a result, so we have a shared services agreement between Branchburg and Reddington for transportation services. And the shared services agreement includes their garage bay transportation routes, as well as transportation employees as well. And there's a situation where a Branchburg employee will be going out on leave. So one of our employees that we share will be doing some additional hours to cover for the person who's going out on leave. So the stipend is to our employee, paid by Branchburg to us to pay but they're our employee on our payroll. So Branchburg will be contributing to the stipend through the shared services.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. Jason, did I miss that?
Next item on the agenda is correspondence. We received one, and it is on record with the board secretary. And now we're going to move to board action. We have, the first item is the approval of administrative reports. We have two items, item 101 and 102. Can I get a motion and a second on those two items?
I'll move, Ellen.
Second, Paula.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, Mr. Wong.
Mrs. Cassidy.
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore.
Yes.
Mr. Lopes.
Yes.
Mr. Pieros.
Yes.
Mrs. Rad.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan.
Yes.
Mrs. Pinto.
Yes.
Mr. Rizzo.
Yes.
Passes.
Next item is approval of minutes for the October 14th meeting. It's item 201. Can I get a motion in a second?
Second, Paula.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay.
Mrs. Cassidy.
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore.
Yes.
Mr. Lopes.
Yes.
Mr. Pieros.
Yes.
Mrs. Rad.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan.
Yes.
Mrs. Pinto.
Yes.
Mr. Rizzo.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, now we're going to be going into committees. The first one is finance and facilities. We do not have a committee report. We have not met since the last meeting. We have 4 items on the agenda, 301 through 304. Can we have a motion and a second?
Motion. Paula.
Second.
Okay, any? Let's get rolling. Okay, okay, so any discussion? The one item I want to note is on 301. I think some of us are going to just recuse ourselves in specific check numbers. So when we vote, just to keep track of that. Any other discussion items on items 301 through 304? Okay, Mr. Bo.
Mrs. Cassidy.
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore.
Yes, but abstain from 3.01, check number 066000.
Mr. Lopes.
Yes.
Mr. Pieros.
Yes.
Mrs. Rad.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan.
So for 3.01, I'm gonna recuse myself from bill number 066016 and no to 3.03 and yes to everything else.
Mrs. Pinto.
I'm gonna say yes, except for 3.01. I abstain from check number 065949 and no to check number 065998. Yes to all the others.
Mr. Rizzo.
Okay, I will say yes, except I am going to also abstain on item 301 for check number 066015.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. All right. Next item is education technology. No committee report this time, but we do have 7 items to move, 401 through 407. Can I get a motion and then a second?
Motion, Paula.
I'll second Alice.
Okay. Any discussion on the 7 items? Okay.
I have questions on 401. The nurse plan. I'm just questioning the amount of students that are in category 4. I'm wondering how come that number is so high. That was one of the questions. And what is that category? I mean, how do you get into that how do these students qualify for that category? And are the parents aware that their students are in that category? Because there's a lot of kids in the category.
I'm gonna do my best. So level 4, right, the health concern level. Examples include from the nurses, dental disease, headaches, migraines, sensory impairments, diabetes, self-managed by the student, dietary restrictions, eating disorders, orthopedic conditions requiring accommodations, and encopresis. When we have, just in general, when we have any student that has a medical condition that requires administration of medication at school, requires the nurse to do some monitoring, or requires accommodations, which is a Section 504 medical accommodation form. The nurse is required to get a physician's note from the parent in order to implement any kind of medical intervention for those students. So I don't know the students, each of them specifically, but what Category 4 speaks to is to students who have health concerns that may be documented through a physician's note or a Section 504 plan that requires the nurse to do something like administer medication.
So that many students need to come in to see the nurse that often? Because it's like half the students.
I mean, migraine headaches, diabetes, dietary restrictions.
I was wondering if that was allergies.
It could also include
Be vegetarians?
could include allergies. But I'm gonna look under medically fragile and make sure allergies aren't there.
I didn't see it listed in any of the categories. I was curious because it is something we do have to provide information for to the nurse.
This is according to the medical records that we receive that the nurses review. So all medical records are maintained, and there are certain state required health forms that we have in the health office. And through the maintenance, the nurses update this on an annual basis.
So can it go up or down? Does it stay the same? Do the students stay on it the whole year?
It could change, depending on the student. I can look at last year's real quick. And see, maybe I can compare some numbers. Last year's, same categories. Yeah, it looks like under health concerns, there were fewer RMS last year. About the same at Holland Brook. About the same, fewer last year at Three Bridges. And then a few more at White House School for this year as well. So relatively similar. The only school that seems to have changed to have a lot more under level 4 is RMS compared to last year. What I can do though, if you have more specific questions about it, I could talk to the Director of Pupil Services and get more information, and I can email the full board as well.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, Mr. Bowman?
Mrs. Cassidy,
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Pieros,
Yes.
Mrs. Rad,
Yes, but I'm going to abstain from floral one.
Mrs. Ryan,
Yes.
Mr. Pinto,
Yes.
Mr. Rizzo,
Yes.
passes.
Next committee is personnel, and we will have a committee report. But before we get that, we have 9 items to move. Can I get a motion to move 501 to 509 and then a second?
I'll move in.
I'll second.
Okay. Christina?
So the Personnel Committee
met on November 5th. We discussed staffing updates. There have been no changes at RMS, HBS, or TBS. At White House, we had one resignation. A temporary replacement is currently covering the position until it is filled. Regarding short-term and FMLA coverage, we have staff in place to fill those needs and are maintaining good stability overall. In transportation, we currently have one open position and are training 3 new bus drivers. We discussed the preschool plan and staff for 2025-2026. The preschool plan, anticipated classes and personnel for the upcoming school year was discussed. In regards to strategic planning proposals, we reviewed 3 proposals from firms to assist in developing our strategic plan. We decided to invite representatives from the School Boards Association and Judith Wilson to present to the full board before making a final decision. We had a substitute fair that went very well. We received 8 applications and had 5 walk-in participants, making it a successful event. In regards to enrollment, the committee discussed current enrollment trends. Dr. Hart noted that incoming class sizes are balanced with outgoing class sizes. Enrollment has increased slightly in kindergarten, and with new housing developments emerging on both sides of town, we anticipate further growth. However, class sizes do remain small, which is positive. If additional classrooms or teachers become necessary, we may face some budget constraints, and Dr. Hart will provide staffing recommendations and any proposed reallocations in January or February. We discussed, Dr. Hart referenced an article in the School Board magazine regarding trends in contract negotiations. The article notes that salary increases are averaging 3.5% and teacher contracts are increasingly being negotiated for 5 years instead of the previous 3 years. The article was provided as an FYI only. The committee discussed 3 personnel matters, and our agenda items are hiring staff, substitutes, transportation, supervisor stipend, and other leave approval. We set our next meeting for December 8th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you. Any comments or discussion? Spelman?
Mrs. Cassidy?
Yes.
Mrs. Fury?
Yes.
Mr. Lopes?
Yes.
Mr. Pieros?
Yes.
Mrs. Rath?
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pinto?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzo?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, next committee is policy communication. We do have policy readout, but we also have one item, item 601. So I don't know, we could do a motion and a second.
I'll move.
A second.
The Policy and Communications Committee met on October 27th. The first item we discussed were policy updates for the 2000 series. Dr. Hart made the suggested revisions to the following policies that were previously reviewed by the committee. The committee agreed that these policies were ready to move to the agenda. They were policy 2240, controversial issues, policy 2312, class size, and policy 2360, use of technology. One additional edit was suggested to add that technology plan is presented to the EdTech committee quarterly. The next topic we discussed was policy 8442, reporting accidents. This policy came out of standard operating procedures and needed clarity regarding the nurse's role in reporting accidents. A minor revision was made to provide clarity in the policy. The report shall include the date, time, and place of the incident, the names of the persons involved, the nature of the injury to the extent that it is known, and a description of all relevant circumstances. The previous version mentioned that the injured employee or visitor or the staff member responsible for an injured pupil shall complete a form, which conflicted with what was also written in the policy regarding the nurse's role. This makes the language consistent. The next item was the athletics policy, policy 5450. 2 members of the committee brought this policy up for review to discuss ways the board can better recognize and celebrate our student athletes. The committee and Dr. Hart shared this sentiment, and Dr. Hart will speak with Mr. Charleston and the athletic coordinator to come up with suggestions of how to achieve this. The next item we discussed was the policy audit from Strauss. Dr. Hart learned at the NJSBA convention that Strauss Esme will conduct a policy manual audit for free, where they will indicate the last date Strauss Esme updated the policy or regulation, the date the district last adopted the policy or regulation, and columns indicating if the policy or regulation needs to be updated or is current and not in need of revision. The turnaround time will be the end of November. The committee agreed to receive the manual audit, and we have been added to their queue. We will use this audit as a tool to help prioritize the most critical policies, but feel it will not reflect or be able to capture the policies that are relative to our community's immediate needs. The next item we discussed was the NJSBA policy manual. NJSBA sent us an email letting us know that they are now offering every district a free living policy manual. This resource combines their policy library and legal references into an easy to customize manual. The core online manual will automatically update when a new update is released, and NJSBA will email quarterly updates. This will ensure the manual always remains current and legally compliant. The committee agreed to fill out the form to request this manual, and we will use it as a reference tool to complement our current policy review process and see how it goes. We then discussed preschool policy 5112.1. This policy was brought to the committee to discuss the preschool plan needed to be submitted to the state in November. And the last item we discussed was our policy tracking document. The committee continues with their independent reviews of their assigned series. We are looking forward to incorporating the new tools from Strauss SMA and NJSBA. The agenda items are policy 2240, 2312, 2360, and 8442, and our next meeting is November 24th at 3:30 p.m.
Comments, discussion? Mr. Will?
Mrs. Kessler,
Yes.
Mrs. Fury,
Yes.
Mr. Lopes,
Yes.
Mr. Pieros,
Yes.
Mrs. Raddick,
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindo,
Yes.
Mr. Rizzo.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. Anyone have any items you want to raise? Okay. Now we're going to need to move to new business from the board. First item is the NJSBA workshop that was about 2 weeks ago. Quite a few of us attended. I don't know if anyone wants to add any comments, thoughts about the workshop. Okay.
I actually brought stuff back with me.
All right.
One of the workshops that I went to was on behavioral threat assessments and management solutions. And I found it really well done. One of the leaders of that workshop was involved in the Parkland shooting in Florida. And she had some really good insight and offered some tools. And I brought them to share just in case you weren't able to go to that workshop, just some tools to share.
Thank you. Justine?
So I thought the sessions were, they're always valuable to us. I thought it was also nice to connect with other board members. I met some few new board members, and I also was able to connect with board members from Central High School, which is nice since it's our second district.
I attended a session from ELF New Jersey on equity in education, and they spoke a lot about AI. And one of the, and about funding it appropriately, making sure that we're transparent, we have a policy in place for it. I know we've got a new committee that's forming to look at that. I thought one little thing that I heard mentioned was that they have a stoplight policy for AI, red to say it's very clear that we do not use AI in these circumstances, yellow that there might be guardrails, and green for go for it and use it. So I thought that was an interesting way of, helping students understand when it's appropriate. That was just one little tidbit from my notes, but I'll spare you the rest of my notes.
I'll say that I attended most of the workshops I went to were AI related, just because we have the working committee on AI. And there was a superintendent that I was able to connect with in another district, and they came up with some good practices when it comes to AI. And I picked his brain a little bit, and we've connected. So Somerville. Is that the one you went to?
No, Plainfield. He came out and he talked about using AI to address equity in the classroom, even using it to make sure that they had appropriately assigned the right, diversity of students in each class, so that no one felt isolated or alone, and helping teachers use AI to plan their work rather than taking time away from the classroom and instruction. So trying to better use our time with AI.
Okay. Any other comments? No. So the next item is strategic planning. As was mentioned, I think in Justina's report, we're going to have 2 vendors come in to present the proposals. I don't know if Dr. Hart wants to add on to that. Or-
Yeah, I've tried to connect with both vendors. I think I have a meeting Thursday with school boards. I'm going to look to bring them either at for the superintendent's report for December or for January, with a hopefully kick off strategic planning by February or so to wrap up by the end of the school year. That would be the goal. So I'll keep the board updated on which two are coming and when. They may both come in December, or one in December, one in January, just depending on availability.
Any questions on strategic planning? Comments? Okay. Next item on the agenda is our second open public forum. It's for any, I'm
Just
sorry.
one more new business. The Hunterdon County School Board's meeting is December 1st. So if anyone's interested in attending, it can be either virtual or in person at JP Case, and it's on December 1st at 6 p.m. and the topic is budgeting. So if anyone's interested in attending. No, I roped you in for the last meeting, so I did not feel like we should rope Mr. Bowman in for the next one. So give other districts a chance.
So where's the meeting held then?
I'm sorry?
Where's the meeting held?
JP Case.
JP Case.
And that had a training just before.
Yeah, for new board members. That was the 3 R's training.
It's the same one
It's
as
the
last
same,
year.
yeah.
For new board members. Okay.
Excuse me. Could people speak up a little bit with this air handler going on here? It's hard to hear people. And apparently there's no way that your audio person can turn up the volume.
So I'll just summarize what Beth said. There's a Hunterdon County SBA meeting that's on December 1st being held at JP Case for board members if they want to attend. It's also going to be anyone that's, I guess, elected a new board member, so you usually have orientation there as well. Doesn't impact our board because we don't have any new members, but other boards will have people there as well. Justine?
I mentioned this to Dr. Hart and Mr. Bohm at the NJSBA convention, that if we do pass the referendum, maybe we should do a presentation at next year's conference.
So
Not to put you on the spot, but.
I actually, it's funny you mentioned that because we're actually I think the first district in New Jersey to use that little 3-minute video through that vendor, which was a very inexpensive way to get word out. But one of the things I thought the next conference, and I sometimes present at it, is the superintendent's conference in May. And I thought about the request for proposals is December. So I thought about writing a proposal for May and then doing another one for school boards for next year. So I've already started thinking about it, and I thought that maybe the proposal could include the use of that video. I mean, I don't have any feedback directly about the video, but I mean, a 3-minute video that explains your entire $38 million referendum, I thought was a pretty powerful thing. But I think it's a good idea. Do you want to present together?
I'll help.
I think it's everything. Accumulation of video was good.
Yeah.
The communications were good. The updates were good. All the meetings we had.
Yeah.
People watched it. They didn't come live. They watched them after the fact. If you look on YouTube counts, people actually watched the meetings and the presentations. So the whole communication plan and transparency, like I was saying earlier, actually was done really well.
Yeah.
And by the time next school board meeting comes, we're going to actually be in the middle of executing. So maybe the presentation can be, this is our plan and how we led up to the vote, and this is everything we've done since the vote and how we're executing. This is what we've done now. This is our plan. This is what we're going to do over the next few years, kind of like a rolling, it's leading to the vote, and everything post. So, great idea, Justine.
Thanks.
And Dr. Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments before we move to the public session? Okay. So open to the public. If you have any comments, please come up, state your name and the town you're from. It could be any item on or off the agenda. Okay.
Jessica Gallico, Reddington, New Jersey, 3 Pulaski. So I was able to pull up the agenda. Do you guys usually provide like a printed
It's
version?
usually right behind you. We have one.
Okay.
Yep.
It's okay. I was able to get on. So I was hoping that there was more discussion amongst yourselves about the vote for some of the policies. I'm assuming that Strauss Esme is really your only source of, I know that they put it out, then you guys bring it back to policy, but was that walked on, were all those walk-on for first reads tonight, or was that an adoption of the policy? Basically, I wanted to speak about the controversial issues, the policy for controversial issues. It's very vague. I don't know if it's coming up again, because I believe it said for first reading. Okay, so it would need to be, so maybe there would be some dialogue after that. Leaving, I'm not saying that controversial issues can't be discussed, but the way the policy is really left to the employee or the teacher. I mean, there's really no guidelines, or I just don't see it as concrete. I know that these policies are put out by Strauss Esme. I don't know, maybe you guys can discuss it more, provide more insight into how, as a teacher, that's a lot to put on a teacher when it comes to where discussion goes to. I'm speaking from an educator's point of view. If a topic comes up, you could be thinking we're engaging in, simple dialogue and everything's innocent and whatnot, and then next thing you know, you have emails from parents directly to a principal or superintendent or people showing up at a board meeting that you don't even realize escalated to something. And now you have, it was left up to the teacher's discretion. Unless it was provided in a lesson plan, I believe the policy stated, unless it was previously issued, like within the curriculum setting, that they could be discussing. It's basically saying that, like, if a topic happens to arise in an instant or momentarily, the teacher can use discretion. And it's really like a gray area. I'm just, again, speaking from an educator's point of view, not to be controversial. And also, I believe the other part, I don't remember which policy it was in, it could have been controversial issues as well, was having presenters come in. So I was wondering if, like they said that they had a bunch of elected officials, if those presenters filled out a form prior to entering the classrooms and speaking with children in the classrooms or giving presentations for the board approval or principal approval. That's basically what I have to say. Again, congratulations on your referendum. I'm coming to the side because I believe in education. I also believe in my tax dollars. So as an educator too, I would start planning the budget now, because the health benefits, I'm sure you guys are very well aware, and we don't want to come in May where now we need to make major cuts because those are not going away. And teachers really aren't getting a 3.5% raise actually, because by the time you pay, you're being charged more for the percent of your health care. So we're actually taking home less than what we would be making. But again, that's for a higher pay grade, I believe. Just making sure you stay on top of it. And with the AI, I continue to work on following the AI too. And I would follow teachers as well, because we had an incident where teachers are using, there's now AI for teachers to combat the AI. So we had kids turning in papers that were written with AI, and we used to be able to put it through a program that spit it out like, you used AI to write this, and send it back. Now teachers are actually having it run through teacher AI where they don't even have to read the papers, and it's grading it based on the paragraph. Like, I love the way you wrote this sentence in paragraph 3 and scoring it on a rubric. So we now have kids submitting AI written work and teachers not reading it, and their AI is, we're having AI speaking to AI. So keeping up on it is definitely something that needs to happen, not just for kids, but for educators or people involved. If you want somebody to do your strategic planning through an AI app, I would recommend it. But yeah, to be continued.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, so it includes public comments. As I mentioned, others.
No.
As I mentioned before, in public comments, we could choose to answer or get back to you after the meeting, depending on the question. I know there are some detailed questions specifically about one policy. I don't know if Dr. Hart, you want to briefly mention it now or get back to them later?
I can mention it if I don't answer something, then we can email. And Ellen, feel free to add anything. Our policies are revised using a specific process. First, a committee, our policy communications committee, reviews the policy. They go to first read on the board of agenda and then the second read. The board has, and policies come from Strauss Esme, and they recommend changes to us, and we discuss those changes in our policy committee. Customize whatever policies we think to match the board, the values of our community, those sorts of things, and then move it forward through the board. This board has started I think it's been several months now in reviewing every policy. So we started with bylaws and we're reviewing every policy. Controversial issues came out of just our process of reviewing our policies and making sure that they speak to the board and are aligned with current practices in the classroom. So controversial issues came up that way because we're in the 2000 series right now.
I understand.
It's interesting because we actually made the policy more explicit through our review, not only through the committee, but also having it be reviewed through our board attorney. And we wanted to maintain both teacher autonomy and give them a way to ensure that they can teach a balanced way of controversial issues, and also maintain a way in which teachers could invite outside speakers into the classroom, like the ones that you saw, political candidates and things like that, but with a specific process. So through committee, recommendations were made, the controversial issues policy was reviewed, and the changes that you see for first read tonight are those that came as a result of our conversation through committee. Did I miss anything?
No, I thought when we reviewed the policy, we wanted more structure to the policy. And, for the teacher, they just aren't allowed by the policy to discuss controversial issues at will. They do need approval in advance by their principal. There is a process for those that may come up that are unplanned. So we were trying to allow both sides of a controversial issue to be presented. In Mr. Daly's program, having, like he said, he has Republican and Democratic candidates come in, so we want to make sure that always continues where both sides of a controversial issue are expressed.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Thanks, Seth.
So our next item is executive session. I'm going to have a motion to adopt the following resolution. Resolved to adjourn to executive session in accordance with the Sunshine Law to discuss the HIB and contractual legal matters for approximately 45 minutes, at which time the board expects to return to public session where no action shall be taken. The matters discussed will be made public if and when the circumstances requiring confidentiality no longer exist. However, it is not presently known when such circumstances will exist. I'll move the motion. Can I get a second?
Christina, second.
Christina, second. Can we get a roll call vote?
Mrs. Cassidy,
Yes.
Ms. Fiore,
Yes.
Mr. Lopes,
Yes.
Mr. Pieros,
Yes.
Mrs. Rad,
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan,
Yes.
Mr. Pinto,
Yes.
Mr. Russo.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay. Thank you.
I can sign it, I'm just gonna sign it.
Thank you.